It's me, again, as always, weekly. Me and you having a discussion. Yeah, today. I was asked a question that I get asked a lot. And it's kind of frustrating. Not that I get asked the question, but that the question has to be asked. And the question goes something like this. So I have a significant other who is trying to convince me to stop writing. And they say, why bother spending so much time and effort on nothing, on something that's only going to be a hobby? Yeah. People that love other people are doing that. Trying to convince those they love to stop doing the thing they love. And how are they convincing them? By trying to tell them that it's going to go nowhere, that it's going to just be a hobby. I got news for you significant others out there. And for you people who have to deal with the significant others asking these types of questions. Every writer began as a hobbyist. That's right. They began as a hobbyist. From the greats, from years gone by, to the greats now. At some point in their lives, they said, I want to write a book. And they wrote a book. And when they wrote that first book, it was a hobby. Granted, they were probably thinking, I'm going to make a career out of this. But at first, unless lightning strikes really fast and really hard, it's a very rare occasion that a writer will write a first book and a career is born. Especially now. Now, people have to work and work and work and work. Every day. Every day you have to write. And yes, some people may call it a hobby to you because you're not making money off of it. But right now, during that time, what you're doing is building up your skills. You're getting better. You're practicing. And hopefully, while you practice, that lightning will strike and you will write something that is damn good and worthy of publishing. There's that old saying that if you do something 10,000 times, if you'll master it. Well, as I've said before, it doesn't really apply to writing because you can write 10,000 words and you're not a master at writing. Now, if you publish 10,000 books, at that point, yes, you are a master. You're beyond a master, but there's no way you're going to publish 10,000 books in your lifetime. But you could write 10,000 sentences, 10,000 paragraphs. And eventually, you're going to be a master at it. Of course, that doesn't mean you should not continue learning, because you should always continue learning. But that's just the thing. From the moment you write that first word to the moment you write your very last, you are learning. Some people may call that a hobby. Some people may not. But the thing is, you cannot let those people get you, or get to you, or get you down. And when they come at you saying, you should probably give up because this is a hobby that takes way too much time, you should simply say, this is not a hobby. This is a career path. This is something I am doing now the journey that I am just now taking, that will one day become a career. Or you could simply say, this is my art. Shut up. Maybe not shut up. There are people out there creating works of art. Be they actors, be they musicians, directors, painters, sculptors, dancers, whatever. Countless, millions upon millions of them out there who are doing what they do because they love what they do and because they can't not do what they do. Some of them are getting paid to do it. Some of them are not. Some of them are making a great deal of money. Some of them are not. But the truth of the matter is they're all doing it with the hopes that someday they will be able to make a living off of what it is that they love to do. We all have hobbies. And how many people out there, just raise your hand, how many people out there would love to turn their hobbies into a career? When I wrote my first story, when I began writing my first story that never actually got finished, I was in high school. And it really wasn't a story, it was an adaptation of Shakespeare's Midsummer Night's Dream. I didn't finish it because I had high school things to do. I had marching band and plays and girlfriends. But eventually, I realized, as the airplanes came in and threatened to bomb us. No, they're not bombing us. They're not threatening. They're just flying by. Eventually, I realized, after I had another couple of careers in there, that I wanted to be a writer. And so, without any understanding of what this business was all about, because I didn't have a degree in literature, I sat about writing a story. And it took me about a year to write it. And while I was writing it, it was a hobby. I was single. I was kind of a hermit. And so I sat at my desk at night and I wrote. I tried to write every night. And it was just a hobby. It was just something. Part of it was something to distract me. And the other part of it was, this actor gig is not going to last forever. And even if it does last throughout my lifetime, the retirement plan is not very good. So I needed something to be able to lean upon when I finally retired from acting. So I thought, let's write a book. Maybe I'll get lucky and it'll sell. Maybe some publisher will want it. Maybe I'll find an agent. Who knew? I didn't know what I was doing. I still don't know what I'm doing, really. Do any of us really know what we were doing? Because if we did, we'd all be rich. But it was a hobby. Until it wasn't. Until I started making money at it. Until I started making a living at writing. But it took a long time. It took dedication and hard work and perseverance. And it took me telling the people, the doubters, the naysayers, the haters, it took a lot of me saying, step back, y'all. And I don't use y'all very often. Actually, I don't use it. I don't know why I just said it. But I just had to say step back. This is my choice. This is my life. This is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to work at it diligently enough that at some point it will no longer be a hobby. I have a lot of actor friends out there. A lot of them. The majority of them are hobbyists. They do it. They do community theater because they love it. They do community theater because at some point they realized that they probably couldn't make a career out of acting. So they thought, well, how can I get the best of both worlds? I'll get a regular job and then I'll do community theater at night. They're hobbyists. And people don't look down upon them for that. When the classic painters, when one of those classic painters, when why can't I think of a painter's name? I don't think about painters a whole lot. When Van Gogh, when he picked up a paintbrush and he started dabbing paint to canvas, did he think, I'm going to make a career out of this? Or did he just do it because he felt the need, the desire, the drive to paint? The first composer, when Mozart composed his first symphony at a very young age, mind you, did he do it because he thought, I'm going to make some serious Skrilla with this? Nay, nay. He did it because he had to. He did it because the music in his head wouldn't stop. And he had to get it on paper. What do you think where would this world be right now? If Mozart's daddy or mommy said, Herr Mozart, Herr Wolfgang, what is this nonsense? Why are you writing this music? You cannot make a career out of music. Why don't you be a banker? We wouldn't have Mozart. And that's it. That's the key. If someone you love is trying to convince you to stop doing the thing that you love, you look them in the eye and you say, you very well might be trying to stop someone from writing the next Harry Potter. That's just the first book that came to mind. The first picture of Dorian Gray. Or the next, because Wilde wrote the first one. But you know what I mean. Lightning does strike. And if you're lucky, as an artist, it strikes more than once. But at some point, if you keep holding that lightning rod up, or your glasses, whichever it is, you keep holding that lightning rod up, the lightning's going to hit you. Metaphorically speaking. And you're going to make money off of those words that you've written. And the first sale you get on that book will be the proudest penny that you ever earn. I still remember to this day where I was when I saw the first sale of one of my books. I remember how I felt. I felt the first thing that popped into my mind was somebody was willing to pay to read a book that I wrote. And at that point, I said to myself, I'm a writer. I'm an author. I sold a book. Someone wanted to read what I wrote. And that's a wonderful feeling. And it's a feeling that you should never let go of, because you're going to need it during this journey, because there are going to be slow times. There are going to be not so slow times. But never give up. Never let those trying to convince you to give up cause you to stop your dreams. And never let that imposter syndrome inside of you stop you. If this is your dream, make it happen. Take that hobby and work on it. and improve it and perfect it. And once you think you've perfected it, realize you haven't really perfected it and you've still got a long way to go, and keep trying to perfect it. And the more you write, the better you'll get, and the better your chances that that hobby will become a career. It can happen to anybody. It happened to me, someone without any training or education in literature. I have a master's degree in acting. So yeah, it can happen to anyone. And there you go. That's our little conversation for the week, my friends and my muse. I hope you have a wonderful day, wonderful weekend, very safe and peaceful time. But most importantly, I hope you look yourself in the mirror, look deep into your eyes and say, you are awesome. A lot of traffic outside. Oi!